Hello there, good morning, everybody. This is Pastor Shibu John from Toronto, Canada, on the 6th of November 2025. This morning, we are going to meditate from 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9. And he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. A focal point for today's meditation is Lord's love has no limit. Or in other words, let me put it in this way, the unlimited love of God. You know what, when we go through times of trouble, we can wonder why God is allowing it. We can even wonder whether God is aware of our circumstances. Apostle Paul's situation gives us insight into those questions. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verses 7 to 10 says, because of the surpassing greatness of the revelations, for this reason, to keep me from exalting myself, there was given me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan, to torment me, to keep me from exalting myself. Concerning this, I implored the Lord 3 times that it might leave me. And he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is perfected in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. Therefore, I am well content with weaknesses, with insults, with distresses, with persecutions, with difficulties, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. The word sufficient implies endurance, strength, or satisfaction. Christ Jesus' power becomes most obvious in the areas where believers are weak. Apostle Paul experienced something he called a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan. That's the 7th verse. We don't know exactly what this thorn was, but it was enough for a discomfort that he prayed 3 times that God would remove it. So we know God was aware of his situation. And we know God refused to remove the thorn. Instead, God reminded Paul that his grace would be sufficient for the trouble he was experiencing. We don't know how long Paul's trouble lasted, but we do know that God's grace is inexhaustible. So, as long as Paul was suffering, God's grace was sufficient for him to endure. The experience changed Paul's perspective. With his suffering came a fresh realization of the power of God's grace in his personal life. So, take your troubles to God in prayer, just as Apostle Paul did, and know that whenever God's answer, his grace will be sufficient. His grace will be sufficient for all our weaknesses. His love has no limit. His grace has no measure. May I repeat that one more time? His love has no limit. His grace has no measure. Have a very blessed day, and God be with you.